everybody, and welcome to Blackatics. Thank you for trusting us with your news. So, a lot of things happened this week. A lot of misinformation, a lot of lies, a lot of propaganda. And so, hopefully, we can unpack a lot of the things that you've been hearing. And I know it can be very confusing. So, first things, the president is saying that this was unprecedented. Nothing like this happened before. He keeps saying it every press conference that the cupboards were bare. You know, we wasn't ready for this. Well, let me help you out. So it's called COVID-19 because it happened in the year 2019. Um, he knew about this last year. The national security team told him about it again in January. Say, hey, this could be an issue, Mr. President. You need to really get on top of this. Instead of him um, garnering all states, all parts of the government, and using the vast federal bureaucracy, he decided to ask about vaping. This is our president. Um, and so he would like for you to think that he was on top of this from the get go, but his timeline is missing, and he is one of those people that do not have a good mooring in leadership. You can see that in the way he blames other people. You can see that in the way he never accepts responsibility, and so we are in a perilous time with a man that is not a leader. Um, and so, one thing I do like about this president, and if you know me, if you have followed me, you know that it is very rare that I say I like anything about Donald Trump. I think he's an existential threat. I think he's a bigot and a racist. And no, I know he's a bigot and a racist. Um, and I just, you know, I don't even look at him as a factor in our way of living. So, um, one thing I do like about this man is that whenever his supporters say something, whenever they try to, you know, um, get some higher ground or some higher standing, or even talk about being a Christian, I just send them clips of what the president says. It's so simple. I try to encourage my followers not to engage with Trump supporters. Let them be. They are who they are, and they're who they are for a reason. Just find a clip and send it to them. That's all your argument right there. Usually, the president lies so much, he usually catches his own supporters off guard because they can't keep up with his lies, and so they're lying, and then he's lying, and then so you know you know how do you keep up? And so I just encourage you guys, say, you know what, hey, send him a clip. And it's his own words, so it's not something that you're conjuring up, or you're this a gotcha. He actually said it. But this brings us to this. Back in February, when the president was golfing and campaigning, he was in South Carolina, and he was calling this a hoax. And no matter what you what what you can say about this president, is that he puts his own self-interest, his own likes, his own wants in head of anybody else, and especially the American people. So take a look at this.
Think of it, think of it. And this is their new hoax. But we did something that's been pretty amazing. We're 15 people in this massive country. And because of the fact that we went early, we could have had a lot more than that. We're doing great. Our country is doing so great.
So, what history tells us is that Hitler used propaganda to his advantage, and it worked. He was able to topple an entire government as a result within the government that he was in. And one thing that he would do was put out misinformation and continuously repeat that information. Why is that important? Because people start to believe what you're putting out, right? If you say it enough, and so many people are saying it, and so many people support that message, that it becomes a way of life and a way of thinking. And so it was easy for Hitler to topple the government of the day because he put out so much misinformation through his propaganda apparatus. He understood that. And this brings me back to Fox News and the President of the United States, Donald Trump. He also understands if he says it enough, if he lies enough, people will believe that. You have people like Laura Ingraham, you have people like Sean Hannity and Chris Tucker and Janine Pirro saying these same talking points and lies that the president is telling them. You know, and they are regurgitating it night after night after night, saying that this is no worse than the flu, saying that it's just a cough. People die from automobile accidents, which has nothing to do with a contagious virus. An automobile accident is not contagious, right? Um, and so, you know, I want you guys to understand that the president's doing this for a reason. He he knows what he's doing. He knows that he's a liar. He understands that, and so he uses that to his advantage. And so the president this week concocted a propaganda film that totally wiped out the months of March and February, January, and February. So he started in March, which we know if you are living, in 2020, and we go by the Gregorian calendar, that March is not the beginning of the year anymore. Watch this.
Vaccine. We will be suspending all travel from Europe to the United States for the next 30 days. To unleash the full power of the federal government in this effort today, I am officially declaring a national emergency. Medicare patients can now visit any doctor by phone or video conference at no additional cost.
The first 1 million masks will be available immediately.
So, one of the great things about the Constitution is that it's there for us to continue to live up to it. And one of the great things about it is that there are just little nuggets of checks and balances that we do have that keeps our democracy going. And one of the great things about it is the freedom of the press. And there used to be things that the press just would not say, and out of respect and deference to the president, do. But we've never experienced a president that is just blatantly disrespectful and that is just a liar, that just breathes and eats and consumes lies. And so one of the things that gives me hope is that the press is no longer just taking whatever the president is saying. You now have networks that are cutting away from any propaganda that he puts out, and they're actually holding his feet to the fire. They are considered the fourth branch of government, and I just really want to give Paula Reed kudos because she was not backing down. Take a look at this.
Thousands of lives by
time that you bought. The argument is that you bought yourself some time and you didn't use it to prepare hospitals. You didn't use it to ramp up testing. Right now, nearly 20 million people
disgraceful.
are unemployed.
It's so disgraceful the way you said it. Let me just listen. I just
So, no matter how you feel about the press, she really kept his feet to the fire. I mean, this was, master class, speaking truth to power, and it was just amazing. And so The president now, he keeps going back and forth between this being a hoax and this being serious, and you really can't take him seriously be, because it's a pendulum swing. He may feel one way at 2 o'clock in the morning and another way at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And so one thing about this president is that he doesn't like to lead. He doesn't like to take control when it can be damaging to him. And one of the scariest things that I've seen this week is that the president tweeted out, liberate Michigan, and liberate Minnesota, and liberate Virginia. Is he trying to start a civil war? I mean, he is, instead of controlling the narrative and getting real, truthful information, he is saying things like liberate, and his supporters are reacting to it. And you can say whatever you want to say about this president, but he knows how to be divisive. He knows how to stoke racism. He knows how to stoke fears. And this can be a powder keg and these governors are trying their best to save lives. And this president just don't care. He doesn't care about the lives that are being saved, because he's trying to have it both ways. And the tweets are now inciting his supporters. Take a look at this.
Is struggling. We want to go back to work. We have employees. We have paychecks to issue. We have bills to pay. The only stores open are Walmart? That's ridiculous.
It's time to open up. The sick are being taken care of. If you're sick, stay home and in your house. The ones that can work need to.
So, the sad part is that many of those people that came to the state capitals most likely didn't live there. And so now they're taking whatever virus they may have gotten back to their localities and helping to spread COVID-19. And it only takes presidential leadership to say, hey, I know this is tough, but we have to get through this because of this, because of the facts. But because the president is not a leader, he is not well educated and well learned, he is not capable of doing that, which is, sad. You have his supporters out there with Confederate flags and "Don't Tread on Me" flags, and just out there spreading this virus, which is just irresponsible as a leader. And so, we may see an uptick in these rural communities that cannot handle COVID-19 because they don't have the hospital beds, or they don't have the ventilators. And then they will really understand that this president has not been to task on the job. He has not showed up for this epidemic. And so enough of that. Let's go on to the presidential campaign news. Wow, you wouldn't even know that there was a full-blown campaign going on. Bernie Sanders endorsed Vice President Joe Biden. This was remarkable because it took Bernie Sanders to endorsed Hillary Clinton at the convention. And at that time, many observers will tell you that was too late. He should have done it like he is doing it now. But we're not going to talk about the past. We're glad that he decided to think about the nation first and endorse Joe Biden. I get a lot of questions about the Bernie or Bust crowd. I'm not that concerned about them because it's about 10 to 15% of the overall Bernie supporters. And we saw that in the polling. We saw that in the elections that we had in Super Tuesday 1 and Super Tuesday 2, that people that voted for Bernie Sanders in 2016 have overwhelmingly supported Vice President Biden. And so the bite is not as big as the bark. There's a lot of loud voices from the Bernie or Buzz supporters, but I minimize it just because of what we saw in the elections leading up to Bernie Sanders getting out. So we are so thankful that Bernie Sanders decided that it was in the best interest of the country to come out swinging for Joe Biden. And take a look at this.
Asking all Americans, I'm asking every Democrat, I'm asking every independent, I'm asking a lot of Republicans to come together in this campaign to support your candidacy, which I endorse.
Hey, so we will leave you with this. We at Blackatics want to make sure that we're getting out information that you may have missed throughout the week or throughout the day, because so much misinformation, so much propaganda is coming your way. We're usually more geared towards, responding to questions and Facebook Live. And so this is the new medium for us, getting our information out by video clips and things like that. But we are working through it, and thank you guys for supporting. We are on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. All of them are Blackatics. And so please support us. Please share. Please like. Please become interactive with us. We do have a couple of campaigns going on in May where you can win free t-shirts, free hats, book bags, Blackatics gear. And so look forward to that. This Sunday we will be going live. We will push out the phone number and where you can call, and it's going to be an interactive conversation. We'll be talking about a wide range of things from politics to business, COVID-19, answering a lot of questions, and also talking about some popular culture things, about the racist TikTok post that just came out, I think yesterday. We'll also be talking about racism in this country. And so please come out, support. Well, come out on Facebook or YouTube Live and support us. And we will leave you with the words of the great Governor Andrew Cuomo. Have a good day.
First of all, if he's sitting home watching TV, maybe he should get up and go to work, right? Second, let's keep emotion and politics out of this and personal ego. If we